here on chapter 60, and if you want to follow along, chapter link will be in the description below as always. Let's get started. Chapter 60, Anxious. The bots were stressing, she could tell. Ruby watched them go about their normal daytime business, entertaining the kids and keeping the place popular like usual. She could see the little behaviors that gave them away, though. Foxy couldn't stand still, and he wasn't sticking to Pirate Cove like he usually did. He also tended to check on Bonnie a lot. Understandable, considering Bonnie was the one more prone to panic. He hadn't put down his guitar in ages, like a security blanket. Freddie kept reorganizing things, which was driving the employees nuts since they couldn't find anything anymore. They didn't complain out loud, of course. Chica, in contrast to Foxy, barely left the kitchen and cooked way more than was needed. There was a pile of pizzas stacked on the counters. She hadn't seen Goldie at all, not even when she stopped by the office. The ghost bear only came out at night now. Even the toys were acting off, and it annoyed her that she'd noticed. Toby hadn't started a fight with Bonnie in days. She was unusually quiet, and Teddy was obsessively straighten things out, usually after Freddie had been through reorganizing it. Mabel seemed to be handling things the best, but then again, she was very good at dealing with stress after being pulled apart several times. BB was still BB at least, and she hadn't seen the puppet in days, not even during her shift. The weird behavior had even spread to the ghosts. Ruby saw them more often, which did explain why he tended to stick to one room a night. She was still dealing with the whole dead friends or murderous ghost thing. Seeing them couldn't be easy. Of course, every time Ruby saw them, she just got annoyed, which then put her on edge. Great. She hadn't seen the 6 ghost kids either, which meant that particular mystery was driving her absolutely mad. She hated not having answers. With a frustrated sigh, she waved up the bots on her way to the manager's office. The building of the new area was coming along quickly, so she expected this to be about Springtrap. She wasn't disappointed. "Huh, Ruby!" The manager plastered as usual, "Please don't kill me, night guard," expression on his face. "Thank you for coming in early." "Sure, whatever." Teen sat in the chair in front of his desk, not in the mood for pleasantries. Um, well, I just wanted to let you know that the new area will be up and running in a few days. The new animatronic will be arriving the night it's completed." Ruby nodded, looking appropriately bored. After all, as far as he knew, this wasn't anything special. One new animatronic compared to 2 full sets? He probably wasn't even mildly concerned this time. They found a lot of items in the storage with it, which they're starting to ship already. That made her perk up and take notice. Items? Yeah, stuff from the last location. He looked highly uncomfortable again. What happened to the place again? This Halloween attraction thing? Oh, well, Fazbear Fright never opened. Yeah, he looked really uncomfortable. Good. Stupid moron. Did everything the higher ups asked without questions. It burned down. Faulty wiring. Sure, faulty wiring. That was believable. What about before that? She pushed. Before? Before Fazbear Fright? The bot was already repurchased, right? Oh, yes. It's from one of the very first locations, I believe. A lot of history there. He looked both relieved that the topic changed from Fazbear Fright and uncomfortable that it moved to the company's less than stellar history. Any of the stuff arrived yet? I believe a few boxes were dropped off this morning. Some members of staff were going to look through it for the decorations, you see. I'm going to check them out. It was not a question or a request. Where are they? Storage room. The new one they just built. He didn't bother to argue. All right. See you around, manager. She jumped back to her feet. Oh, and I want to be here when the bot arrives. If I'm not, I could just introduce you to my new jelly bombs. I'm sure the cleaning staff told you about them the other day. He shuddered. Of course, Ruby. He forced a smile again. She smirked to herself as she left. Imitating the man was always so much fun. It didn't take her long before she found a new storage room. She memorized the new layout after snatching a copy of the building's plan. There were a few boxes stacked at the back of the otherwise empty room. Let's see what we've got, she muttered to herself as she started digging around in the first one. There wasn't much in the beginning, mostly just plastic masks and cheap looking, supposedly spooky decorations. Geez, I know the company's cheap, but did they really expect this stuff to scare anyone? She shook her head as she studied a toy buying mask. The second box wasn't much better since it was filled with drawings for the most part. I'm feeling distinctly disappointed here. She sighed as she reached for the last box. Oh, what's this? Tapes. Curiosity spiked. She carried the box of tapes back to her office. Brings back memories of Steve, she mused as she studied the tape labeled Night 1. Oh well, how about a sneak peek into what's coming? She stuck the tape in and hit play. Hey, hey, glad you came back from overnight. That's definitely not Steve. She sighed in disappointment. No offense, new phone person, but Steve and we have a special relationship. I just don't think anyone can replace him. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time. We found some great new relics over the weekend. We're out tracking down a new lead right now, so let me just update you real quick. Then you can get to work. Like the attraction opens in like a week, so we have to make sure everything works and nothing catches on fire. Fire? How is a new place that's not even open yet at risk of fire already? Oh, new person who isn't Steve. What is wrong with this company? When a place opens, people will come in at the opposite end of the building and work their way towards you, then past you and out the exit. Yeah, you're officially become part of the attraction. Uh, you'll be starting as the security guard. Ruby has to laugh. 10 points for enthusiasm, dude. But security guards don't have much luck in this franchise, you know. Except me, of course. So not only will you be monitoring the people on the cameras as they pass through, to make sure no one steals anything or makes out in the corner, but you'll also be a part of the show. It'll make it feel really authentic, I think. No, buddy, it's save them money since they don't need to hire separate people to play the role and be an actual security guard. Ruby rolled her eyes. What's to bet you're just a Freddy urban legend fanatic? Now, let me tell you about what's new. We found another set of drawings, always nice, and a foxy head, which we think could be authentic. Someone decapitated Foxy? Ruby yelled before remembering that Foxy was perfectly fine and working at that moment. Never mind. Hey, did they add sound insulation to his walls? That kind of screen would have usually had everyone running. Huh. Either Murphy Law is trying to make this round more difficult, or the company actually thought of muffling the sound of screams from the fright animatronics so the kitties don't get scared. My money's on Murphy, to be honest. Then again, it might just be another crappy cosplay. And we found a desk fan. Very old school, metal though. Watch the fingers. You guys really hit a gold mine, huh? She asked sarcastically. Uh, right now the place is basically just, flashing lights and spooky props. I honestly thought we'd have more by now. If we don't have something really cool by next week, we may have to suit you up in a furry suit and make you walk around saying boo. She face palmed. Oh jeez, are you trying to do the ghost work for them? Uh, but like I said, we're trying to track down a good lead right now. Uh, some guy who helped design one of the buildings say there was like an extra room that got boarded up or something like that. So we're gonna take a peek and see what we can find. For now, just get comfortable with the new setup. Extra room? She frowned. Why would someone board up an extra room? They tried to lock them away, a soft voice said behind her. Hey, kiddo. Ruby didn't turn to look. She knew it was the sixth kid. You can check the security cameras over to your right with a click of that blue button. You can toggle between the hall cams and the vent cams. Then over to your far left, you can flip up your maintenance panel. Use this to reboot any systems that may go offline. Trying to make the place feel vintage, we may have overdone it a bit. Some of the stuff equipment is barely functional. Yeah, I wasn't joking about the fire. That that's the real risk. The most important thing you want to watch for is the ventilation. Were you there at this place? She asked while listening to the phone as well. We all were. It was supposed to end, but it didn't. He wouldn't leave. He got away from the fire before. Ah, fire can calm the spirits that don't want to leave, force them to move on. She took a silence as confirmation. Look, this place will give you the spooks, man, and if you let that ventilation come off live, then you'll start seeing some crazy stuff, man. Keep the air flowing. Okay, keep an eye on the things, and we'll try to have something new for you tomorrow night. The phone went dead as she turned to look at the ghost. Who locked him up in the extra room? She asked gently, once again noticing the tear tracks down his cheeks. Grown-ups, they just wanted the story to go away. He didn't leave. He possessed Spring. Ruby nodded and noticed that the kids looked even more upset. Did you know Spring? Before. He nodded, wiping away at the tears running down his face. Then the company found him again and put him in Fazbear Fright. He nodded, hiccuping. But it wasn't Spring. Oh, I thought this was a kid, sorry. But it wasn't Spring anymore. The bad man was in control all the time. She kept her voice low and soothing, wishing she could just hug this poor kid. He made the things disappear. I miss Spring. Goldie. Goldie? But she's here. She hid her surprise. She doesn't know I'm here. I don't want her to know. Please. He pleaded, and her heart ached a little. She always had a soft spot for not murderous kids. Okay, I'll let you tell her when you're ready. What happened at Fazbear Fright? They tried to burn him out, he whispered, looking around nervously. The other kids? He nodded again. But it didn't work? A shake of the head this time. Springtrap got away, he whispered. But I'm glad. If it worked, they'd kill Spring too. Please, please don't do that. Ah, that's why he was talking to her, forcing himself to overcome his shyness and fear. Of course I won't. I'll let her send that ghost packing and get Spring back for Goldie. And for you. Okay? For the first time since she's seen him, he looked hopeful. He likes games, he whispered very softly. Dangerous games. And I'll beat him. He looked up and studied her for a long moment. Promise? Promise, she nodded firmly. Thank you, miss. He managed a tiny smile before he faded away again. Ruby leaned back and stared at the phone, digesting all the information she'd gathered. Turn, I forgot to ask his name, she muttered before she stood up and stretched. Hello, I've got no reason to win now. I've got a feeling that kid isn't hanging around for vengeance. He wants to fix things. But still, he wasn't part of the group that got killed. So why is he here then? What happened to him? If he used Spare Gold, then he's from way back, isn't he? She glanced at the box of tapes again. Better leave them for the game. It was nice to keep in routine. I should put these in the new office when they finish it, she muttered before pausing. They had better not go for the authentic malfunction system thing. She frowned to herself before cursing softly. They're going for the authentic malfunction system thing, aren't they? Idiots, horns, brain-dead sea slugs. She continued muttering insults as she stormed out of the building, throwing a few of her new slime bombs into the room the construction workers were using, and ignoring the outraged screams as she locked the door. It didn't fix anything, but it did make her feel better. And it looks like that's the end of that chapter, and the next chapter hopefully will be the beginning of FNAF 3. And that means I get to use my new thumbnail for it, so yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this chapter. If you did, leave a like. Be sure to subscribe. Comment down below how you're enjoying the series so far, and also go leave a review for the author. They wrote the story, not me. I'm just reading it, so go share the love with them. We're done here now. Oh, and before you go, make sure you subscribe. I upload new videos every Friday and Saturday. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the first chapter of Me in the Mind.